This is the story of 90s rapper Big Pun, also known as Big Punisher, Christopher Rios. Christopher Lee Rios was born on November 10th, 1971, was best known as Big Punisher or aka Big Pun, was an American hip-hop MC. Emerging from the underground hip-hop scene in the Bronx, he came to prominence upon meeting fellow Bronx rapper Fat Joe, and thereafter guest appeared on his 1995 album Jealous Ones Envy. Big Pun signed with Joe's label Terror Squad Productions and Loud Records in 1997 to release his debut album Capital Punishment in 98, the following year. It was met with critical acclaim and commercial success. The album garnered a nomination for Best Rap Album at the 41st Annual Grammy Awards, peaked at number 5 on the Billboard 200, and became the first hip-hop recording by a Latino solo artist to receive platinum certification by the Recording Industry Association of America. His second album, Yeah Baby, in 2000 peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200, although Pun passed away shortly before its release. Christopher Rios was born in the Bronx to parents of Puerto Rican descent. He grew up in the Soundview neighborhood and had at least 2 sisters and 1 brother. He regularly played basketball and trained in boxing. He moved out of his parents' home at the age of 15 and was homeless for a period of time in the late 1980s. Later, he received a large settlement from the city stemming from an accident in 1976 where he broke his leg while playing in a park. Using his settlement money, Pun and his high school sweetheart, Liza, and the two moved into a home together. He struggled with depression stemming from his turbulent upbringing, and he coped with it by overindulging in food. Between the ages of 18 and 21, his weight soared from 180 pounds to 300 pounds. He was subsequently unable to tie his own shoes. During the late 80s, he began writing rap lyrics. He later formed the underground group Full of Clips with lyrical assassin Joker Jams and Toon. Pun made a number of recordings with the group in the 90s, which haven't been released. At this point, he was operating under the alias Big Moon Dog. After changing his stage name to Big Punisher, he met fellow Puerto Rican rapper and Bronx native Fat Joe in 95 and made his commercial debut on Joe's second album, Jealous Ones Envy, in addition to appearing on the song Watch Out. He also appeared on the Beatnut song Off the Books. In 1997, Pun began recording songs for his debut album Capital Punishment. In 97, producer Nobody's production partner Sean C. took advantage of his new role as A&R at Loud Records to play Nobody's tracks to Big Pun. Suitably impressed, the rapper hired Nobody to remix I'm Not a Player. The remix song featuring Joe entitled Still a Player became Pun's first major mainstream hit and major breakthrough for Nobody. The full-length debut Capital Punishment followed in 98. The album was also nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. Pun became a member of Terror Squad, a New York-based group of rappers founded by Fat Joe, with most of the roster supplied by the new defunct Full of Clips, who released their debut album, the album in 99. The album didn't do well commercially, but it was well received critically, and the album was meant to start the foundation for all other Terror Squad members to release their solo projects. Christopher Rios struggled with weight issues his entire adulthood. He weighed 180 pounds at 18. His weight fluctuated in the early 90s between obese and morbidly obese. He enrolled in a weight loss program at Duke University in 99 and shed 80 pounds, but he prematurely quit the program and eventually regained the 80 pounds he lost. His weight was a constant argument among him and his friends, to the point that Pun wouldn't eat around them. On February 5th, 2000, he withdrew from a planned SNL performance with Joe and J-Lo due to his illness. 2 days later, while staying at the Crown Plaza Hotel with his family in White Plains, New York, he suffered a heart attack and respiratory failure and was rushed to White Plains Hospital, where he succumbed at the age of 28 after paramedics were unable to revive him. His weight had reached a peak of 698 pounds at the time of his demise. He was survived by his wife Liza and their 3 children, Star, Vanessa, and Chris Jr. Pun is buried at Woodlawn Cemetery near Woodlawn Heights in the Bronx. His second album, Yeah Baby, completed after his death, was released in April 2000. It peaked at number 3 on the Billboard charts and earned a gold record status within the first 3 months of its release. A posthumous compilation album, Endangered Species, was released in April 2000. Endangered Species collected some of Pun's greatest hits, previously unreleased material, numerous guest appearances, and remixed greatest verses. As with his other albums, it also peaked in the top 10 of the Billboard 200, reaching number 7. It didn't sell as much as the previous Big Pun albums had. He collaborated with Joe on duets final chapter and album of tracks featuring Biggie Smalls. The track Get Your Grind begins with a Pun radio interview in which he said he will perform a duet with Biggie at the Gates of Heaven. Pun was also featured on a track from the revived Terror Squad's second album, True Story, on the song Bring 'Em Back with Big L, another deceased rapper. On May 2nd, 2001, the New York City Council stalled plans to rename a small portion of Rogers Place as a tribute due to distaste over Pun's lyrics that included profanity and references to violence and narcotic dealing. In 2002, a documentary about Big Pun entitled Big Pun, Still Not a Player was released, which revealed that he was homeless as an adolescent and abused as a child. The film includes footage of him pistol whipping his wife, Liza Rios. A second posthumous album was planned for release by Sony Music Entertainment in 2006, but was shelved due to a dispute with producer John Jellybean Benitez, who owned the publishing rights to many of the intended album songs. In June 2005, Liza Rios put her late husband's $100,000 custom Terror Squad medallion up for auction on eBay, citing financial woes due to receiving no royalties from Pun's album sales. On March 22nd, 2021, the intersection of East Fordham Road and Grand Concourse in his native Bronx was named Big Pun Plaza in his honor. A ceremony including family, friends, and local politicians preceded this street naming. Okay, y'all, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.